Hey, Chris here from Critical Outcast. Now, it's been a couple of days since Monster Mania ended, and I am still in recovery mode. I can tell you, working off of 4 hours a night sleep just really isn't enough. I know that for some of you that might sound like a lot, but for me, I can always use a little more than that. But I can tell you that the whole Monster Mania weekend experience is not to be missed. It is so much fun. There are so many people there, so many guests, so many vendors, celebrities, Q&A panels, fans walking around in costume. It is just, it's just a lot of fun. It's if you like horror, if you like these sort of films, you like these sort of people, you gotta come down. It's so much fun. I can tell you that, my experience. This is my second time going to Monster Mania. The first being last August. This one was by far the better experience. Not to belittle the last one because that was so much fun, but this crowd was huge. From what I understand, it is the largest crowd yet for a Monster Mania function at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I know that the parking lot was filled to capacity. The building next door's parking lot was filled to capacity. There were cars parked along the sides of the road for as far as I could see. Lots of long lines, lots of crowds, elbow to elbow. You have to be able to like crowds. I can tell you that for one thing. I know a lot of people were there to see Robert Englund, and me and my friends' plans for that Friday, the first day of the convention, was to try to get as many autographs as we could out of the way. And with the convention starting at 5, that didn't really work out too well for us. So let's say we got in line probably just a little after 5 o'clock, right after the convention opened. And we were in line waiting to meet Robert Englund until we finally met him and got out of the room a little after 9 o'clock that night. So about 4 hours it took waiting in a cold line outside, seated inside. But I can tell you, I know a lot of people were upset about the long waits and some people not being able to get to see him, but I don't know. I have mixed feelings on the situation, mainly because Robert is such a great guest. He's such a gracious guy that he spends as much time as he can with each fan coming through the line. He'll talk to you and take a picture with you. And the problem that you have is that he is such a big draw. There's so many people there to see him that it gets to a certain point where they have to start pushing people through the line. And unfortunately, we were in that part where we were kind of being hustled through the line. I got to talk to him. I got to shake his hand, thank him for his films. He spoke to me for a few seconds, signed all my items, including a signed glove, and the official convention poster. But the best we were able to get for a picture was kind of like a leaning over the table thing. So I'm not complaining. It's just one of those things that we have to deal with. Maybe there'll be another chance that I'll get to meet him again. But I will tell you, he's a great guy. For the rest of the convention, there were some great guests there. I mean, Kane Hodder, who was, in my opinion, the best guy to put on the hockey mask and play Jason Voorhees. Gunnar Hansen was there, the original Leatherface. I got this awesome signed chainsaw bar from him. It's fantastic. It was to be Don Shanks, who was the Indian in the old Grizzly Adams show, as well as Michael Myers in Halloween Part 5, and he has got to be one of the best people to put on that mask. And also a very, very nice man. I also got to meet the original 3 cast members from the Blair Witch Project. Some of them doing their first convention in like a decade. That was fantastic. David Prowse, how can I forget David Prowse? Darth Vader, the man in the suit for the original trilogy, was here. He wasn't exactly the most talkative of guest, but man, being such a big Star Wars fan and getting able to meet him was absolutely fantastic. Oh, let's see. Who else did we get to meet? Oh, Cassie Wesley from Evil Dead Part 2. She played Bobby Joe. She was there. She was fantastic. Alex Winter from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, Excellent Adventure, Lost Boys, Freaked. It was great seeing him. I mean, I love those Bill and Ted movies, in particular Bogus Journey. And to hear that they actually have a script for a third one and they're hoping to get that underway is just great news. Great news. And speaking of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, William Sadler was also there. He played the Reaper. I also got to speak with him. He's fantastic. He even got to recite one of the lines for me from the film. Meg Foster from Masters of the Universe, V, They Live. She was there. What a very, very kind woman. She took a lot of time to talk to us about filming They Live, and took a break and introduced us to Kim Darby, who was in True Grit and Halloween Part 6. She was there. These are just a few of the people. I mean, it was so much fun. It was such a great time. Anthony Michael Hall was there. Michael Rooker, Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. Oh, and how can I forget? This is fantastic. This is I met Joe Webb, who played one of the deputies in Nightmare on Elm Street, and also one of the police officers in Scream. Me and my friends actually shared an elevator ride with him, where when I got on, I decided to face the back of the elevator. So he kind of made a joke about going through the looking glass, and we don't have to turn around. And I really didn't realize it was him at first, but this led to a great interaction with him when I met him on the floor in the autograph room, where we actually took a picture of the two of us of our backs, because we both went through that looking glass. He was a very funny guy, very great. It's not the show isn't all about celebrities. There's vendors all over the place. There's people selling 8x10s, other autographed items, toys, movies, independent horror stuff, all manner of artwork. There's some incredible artwork out there. On Sunday, the last day of the convention, we actually got to speak with an artist named C.J. Drayden, who makes these incredible prints of horror and science fiction characters. Godzilla, Michael Myers, Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas, comic book characters, Batman and stuff. I mean, his art is raw. It's exciting. It's this incredible look at. He's also working on this deconstruction story of Pinocchio, which he is adapting, from elements of his own life. And he never knew his father. He lost his son. He's telling us about how he took the story, deconstructed, and making it his own. And he has part of the puppet there that he's making, the new Pinocchio, this wooden doll that he's making, which is just fabulous. The guy is such a creative fellow, and I hope to get to meet him at another convention and get to speak to him again. There's that. There's all manner of other fantasy artists and horror artists and all manner of different things. I mean, there's these Christmas ornaments where this man paints horror characters and science fiction characters on them, and such fine detail. There's just so many things to be found around there that it's impossible really to do in one day. I mean, I did it last year in one day, but it's not really the best way to go. I don't know what else to say. I mean, Dave Hagen, who puts this show together, does such a great job of getting these guests to come to the convention, to come to this hotel, to sign autographs, and he gets it as organized as well as he can. And I can't imagine what it's like to have to try to put something like this together. And this was the 21st show that he's done, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I mean, it's easily, in my mind, granted I'm pretty new to the convention circuit, but probably one of the best conventions there is. It's laid out great. There's not. Well, it is crowded, there's still room to move around. The autographs in one room, the vendors in another, but it's all in one place. It's so much fun. And on top of that, there's Q&As, there's speaking panels, there's film screenings. I know we went to two of the panels. We went to the Unmasked panel, which featured David Prowse, Gunnar Hansen, and Don Shanks. Kane Hodder was supposed to be there, but he did show up at the very end, and we didn't get to speak to him. But we got to hear some great questions, some great stories about the filming of a film that David Prowse made with Russ Meyer, involving a snake, and what happened to that snake. We got to hear a story about Gunnar Hansen and the infamous 26-hour shoot, as well as a day that they were actually given pot brownies as a dessert that they didn't know about, and how to look for some scenes in the film to see the effects of that. Don Shanks talked about his take on Mike Myers and how much of an icon you are, how you can be, but you can only be an icon based on the fans. It's so much fun. And the other panel that we went to was the Nightmares Revisited with Tuesday Night, who is Kristen Parker in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, The Dream Master, and Robert Englund, of course. And Robert Englund, I can listen to him talk for hours. The way he can just go ramble off about movies and the way his feelings about remakes and things, and what great movies that people aren't seeing. I could just listen to him forever. Another great thing was Saturday night after everything was over, we went to the bar, to have a drink, and he had the possibility of rubbing elbows with some of these celebrities. I mean, during dinner, we looked off in the corner and Kane Hodder was back there having dinner. At the bar, we saw Anders Hove, who was Radu in the Subspecies films. Great guy, too. He was there. He was hanging out at the bar. Gunnar Hansen was there for a while. And what made my night was Michael Williams from Blair Witch Project. I was coming up to the bar and actually saw me, remembered my name, and had a conversation with me. That was fantastic. William Sadler came in. He remembered me as well and said hi. You know, it's really something to see the stars out of context. You know, to see them off the screen, just walking around with everyone else like normal people. I mean, I know they're normal people, but, you know, taking away that cinematic context, it's rather interesting to see them and interact with them in this more intimate fashion. But anyway, I don't know what else to say. There's just so much fun going on at these things. Oh yeah, the final thing we went to on Sunday was there was an auction to benefit the Save a Yorkie Foundation, which, you know, is obviously to help Yorkies and the health problems that they might help have in families and owners who can't take care of their pets. They had an auction based off of a lot of donations from people and celebrities, you know, signed photos and stuff. And I was able to. I actually bid on a few items, and I won a Tuesday Night autographed photo, a Charlie Spradling from Puppet Master Part 2 and The Doors. I got an autographed photo from her, as well as probably the coolest thing that I got was a French poster print of The Curse of Frankenstein, the Hammer film with Peter Cushing, and it was signed by the late Hazel Court, who passed away back in 2008. She starred in the film playing Elizabeth, and that was one of the coolest things that I've seen in recent memory. No, that was really cool, and it was also nice to see that they actually raised, I believe I heard it was over $3,000 for their fund, to help save the Yorkies. There was also another charity there called Scares That Care, and they raised over $2,400 for their benefits, which is for sick children, and they also partner with Kane Hodder's charity for children with serious burns. And it's great to see that in the midst of all of, you know, the chaos and fun of celebrities and vendors and stuff, that, you know, that we as a community can still come together and help these charities and help these animals and children that need help. Well, I don't want to get too serious here. I mean, it's great that they're there, but, you know, still, being able to rub elbows with the celebrities, you know, meet them, talk with them about their films, and interact with them, and see all this great stuff it's just a blast. And I got to say, you know, if you like horror movies, you like meeting celebrities, and you can get yourself to Cherry Hill. The next convention is, I want to say either August 17th or August 19th, somewhere in that vicinity. Also in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and they're actually working on putting together a Hellraiser reunion. And so far, I mean, their VIP guest is none other than Clive Barker. Doug Bradley, who played Pinhead, is also going to be there. I've also been hearing that Claire Higgins is going to be there, as well as Ashley Lawrence, Simon Bamford, and I believe there's a couple other names I'm forgetting that are also going to be there also for this big Hellraiser reunion. But that's not going to be it. I mean, I believe somewhere in the vicinity of usually about 30 guests to come to these things. So make sure you get out there. It's so much fun. You can find them on Facebook under Monster Mania Convention, monstermania.net online, and you can always find me at criticaloutcast.com. And I should probably wrap this up right about now, but I gotta tell you, man, Monster Mania is the place to be if you like horror movies. I'll see you there.